Hello everybody, thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon. My name is Jesse Mayfield Sheehan. I'm here on behalf of Milton Academy to bring you a live coverage of today's girls lacrosse game between the hosting Milton Mustangs and the visiting Rivers School Red Wings. Should be an exciting matchup today. We saw the boys lacrosse teams of these two schools facing off just yesterday. A tough game for Milton in that one as Rivers came away with the 18-5 win. We'll see if the girls team can get a little indirect payback here. As you can see from the clock on the scoreboard, we've got about 3.5 minutes before this game is set to get underway. So in the meantime, we'll take a quick look at the Milton Mustangs roster. Going in order of jersey number, we start off with a sophomore attacker from Mattapoisett, Massachusetts, number 1, Ava Russell. Next, a junior midfielder from Narragansett, Rhode Island, number 2, Sarah Maciel. A senior attacker from Hingham, Massachusetts, number 3, Eliza Dunn. A freshman midfielder from Hingham, Massachusetts, number 4, Emily Baldwin. A junior defender from Duxbury, Massachusetts, number 5, Zoe Garrett. Another junior defender from Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts, number 6, Haley Englert. A junior midfielder from Milton, Massachusetts, number 7, Jane Feeney. A junior attacker from Milton, Massachusetts, number 8, Grace Panaris. A junior defender from Hingham, Massachusetts, number 9, Caroline Baldwin. A senior attacker from Hingham, Massachusetts, number 10, Eleanor Murphy. A sophomore midfielder from Milton, Massachusetts, number 13, Audrey Howley. A freshman midfielder from Winchester, Massachusetts, number 14, Caroline Curtis. A sophomore goalie from Westwood, Massachusetts, number 15, Sydney Iwaskow. A sophomore defender from Dorchester, Massachusetts, number 16, Corey Miller. A freshman attacker from Dedham, Massachusetts, number 17, Emily Cunahan. A freshman midfielder from Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, number 18, Daphne Carlin. A senior midfielder from Milton, Massachusetts, number 19, Catherine Fernandopol. A senior midfielder from Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, number 22, Josephine Vogel. A junior defender from Wayland, Massachusetts, number 23, Lily Stoller. A senior attacker from Milton, Massachusetts, number 24, Thea Chung. A senior midfielder from Milton, Massachusetts, number 26, Eleanor Rain. A junior attacker from Hingham, Massachusetts, number 27, Anna Cressman. A freshman midfielder from Boston, Massachusetts, number 28, Jordan Stecken. Or it might be Stukin. A sophomore defender from Hingham, Massachusetts, number 29, Julia Torrey. And last here on the roster, a sophomore goalie from Cranston, Rhode Island, number 32, Kaylee Brousseau. So that is the roster for the Milton Academy Mustangs girls lacrosse team. I've got a roster featuring last names for Rivers. I don't have the full names for them, unfortunately, but I'm going to do the best with the information that I have. We're about ready to get the first period of this game underway. Once again, I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan, bringing you live coverage of this girls lacrosse game. Two teams huddling up, the Mustangs in the navy jerseys with orange numbers on the right, the Red Wings of Rivers School in white jerseys with red numbers on my left. We can see the officials conferring with the scores table before we get this underway. We gave the rosters for Milton Academy. On top of that, the coaches, Molly Swain, Jordy Dunnington, Bailey Grant, and Molly Cox. And team manager, Talia Kriegel. Feels like we're going to start in just a few minutes. Looks like Rivers is about to break their huddle. And meanwhile, it sounds like Milton Academy's squad is clapping and getting ready to break their huddle as well. All right, looks like the teams have broken their final huddles and we're ready to get this one underway. Starting in net for Rivers today, looks like it's going to be number 29, Carly Peterson. The one player on the Rivers roster that I have the full name for. That's nice and convenient there. On the other side, it looks like the goalie for Milton is going to be number 31, who is not on the roster I was handed, so I might have to double check that one. Yes, 31 is Sydney Iwaskow, so paper roster I was given was a mistake. We're ready for the opening draw, and here we go. Bounces away from Rivers player and is scooped up by number 7, Jane Feeney. Feeney passes it over to number 22, Josephine Vogel, who then quickly passes it to number 19. 19 with it, she flips it over to 27, who tries a pass towards the back. It's deflected but recovered. Milton keeps possession. Coming out the back and a shot, score! First goal of the game from number 17, Emily Cunahan. Mustangs off to a good start with a quick goal. All starting with a nice win on the opening draw control. Draw controls are vital here in the sport of girls lacrosse. Just 25 seconds into the 12-minute, 30-second period. And we've already got a 1-0 lead for Milton. Next draw is taken. They have to leap for it, and it's ultimately scooped up. Milton takes possession again. A nice grab. It's passed ahead to number 3, Eliza Dunn. Off the nice grab from number 19, Catherine Fernandopol. Pass behind the net. Goes back to, I believe, number 10, Eleanor Murphy, who then passes it back out to Fernandopol. Fernandopol starting to charge, weaving through some defenders, ultimately decides to retreat and flip a pass over to her teammate, who charges, shoots, nicely saved. Good save by Peterson. I think that shot was attempted by Cunahan, but she got stuffed by the netminder. Rivers takes over on the possession. Still working on their own end, trying to work in transition. They got number 13 running with it now. Couple defenders chasing her. Can't seem to man her up, and she decides to throw a pass ahead. The shot goes over the net, nicely defended by Iwaskow. Possession stays with Rivers, however. Couple long passes. Working their way around. Swing it over to number 15, who then sends it to the right corner. Over to, I believe, number 9. They're still swinging it around, making their rounds, looking for a good opening. A pass inside is caught. Looking for the shot. Well defended by Milton. Nothing doing there. They go back to swinging around the passes. They start to charge in. Again, well defended. Ball's knocked loose. And it's going to be scooped up by Milton. Nice defense by the Mustangs. We got a whistle blown, and it looks like Milton's going to continue to run with it. This is Cunahan, the scorer of the game's lone goal so far. She sends a pass that is juggled, and now there's a bit of a scrum for the ball. Still scrumming for it. Nobody can seem to get it cleanly picked up. It looks like Cunahan got it. Tries to swing a pass out, but we got a whistle. As a few loose raindrops start to fall here at Milton Academy Turf Field. Pass over to Dunn. Dunn's running with it. She's got a bit of a lane. Runs into a wall and has to pull back. Decides against passing it and now sends a pass to the back. That was number 10, Murphy, who then swings it back over to Dunn. Dunn sends it up top to number 7, Jane Feeney. Feeney now fakes out a defender, starts to run through, forcing her way through, but loses the ball, and it's picked up by Rivers. Rivers now working with it. This is number 8, passing it ahead to number 15. 15 swings it across midfield over to number 11. 11 to a cutting number 4. 4 sends it inside, shot, scores! Some nice ball movement there, and it seems like they may have also called a penalty. I believe that one was scored, I think, by number 9 on Rivers' side. That would be Finard. So 1-1 the score, knotted up with 8:50 left here in the first period. It'll be number 22, Josephine Vogel, taking the draw for Milton against Rivers' number 15, Cohen. So Vogel versus Cohen on the draw. 1-1 the score. The draw goes back towards the Rivers end. Battling for the loose ball. Whistle is blown, and they grant it to Milton. It's Feeney running with it. She took off fast, swings a pass over to Fernandopol. Now over to Vogel. Vogel scores! Some great quick passing there from the Mustangs. It went from Jane Feeney to Catherine Fernandopol, and then finally to Josephine Vogel. Some great ball movement there. All started with some very aggressive running towards the net by Jane Feeney, who then found the open teammate, who found the other open teammate for the score. 2-1. Now the tally in favor of Milton. Draw is taken, and it looks like it's going to be scooped up by Rivers number 13. Number 13 gets around one defender and starts to charge. Floats a pass over. They shoot and score. All knotted up once again, now at 2 apiece. Gonna see if I can see the jersey number on the goal scorer there. I think it's number 5, which is Hatton. So they've got 1 goal from Finard and 1 from Hatton. Meanwhile, the 2 goals for Milton have come courtesy of Josephine Vogel and Emily Cunahan. This draw is taken, and it's picked up once again by Rivers number 13, and she takes off running once again. Knocked the ball away from behind, though. Some nice defense by Milton, but now it's a scrum for the ball. We'll see who comes away with it. They're still battling for it. We've got a whistle. And it looks like they're going to give possession to Rivers. Operating out of the free position will be number 13, Sally. Sally passes it back to number 4, who swings it over to 15. Now over to number 11. Throws a pass inside, but hits traffic, and they try and pass back out, and they lose track of the ball, and I think that's going to be an out-of-bounds turnover. Indeed it will. Milton will be taking over the possession now. Trying to work in transition. A long pass goes ahead to Murphy. Eleanor Murphy running with it in transition, being pursued by a defender. Starting to gain the edge. The other defenders coming over to help and seal off the corner there. She sends a pass behind the net to number 14. Floated back out. This is Vogel again. Fakes the shot and decides against it. Sends a pass back out again to number 14, Caroline Curtis. Ball is lost, and it's picked up by Rivers. But Rivers lost control of it, and they're going to blow the whistle on Milton and give the possession to Rivers. Rivers player trying to fight through a couple of players. They blow the whistle again. The Rivers player keeps running, but has to stop because the whistle was blown. 6.5 minutes left in the first period. We're all knotted up at 2 apiece. Rivers with the ball. They move in transition. Well defended, applying the pressure, but they swing a pass out of it. Send it back to the center to number 8, who then floats it over to number 7. A pass over to, I believe, number 4. Now over to 11. 11 sends a pass behind the net to number 5, Hatton, one of the goal scorers so far today. Now I think this is number 9 coming around the back, runs into traffic and swings it over to Hatton. Another couple of quick passes. It ends up with number 4, Benaw. A pass to number 7, now to number 11, swinging around the back. High pass, but caught, and now a quick pass over to 15. She hits traffic and has to retreat. And now her pass over to number 7 is lost, but then recovered by number 7. And a slight push called on Fernandopol in defense. And now number 7 gets to run with it. Loses the ball for a second, but manages to recover it and send a retreating pass out to number 11. Pass to number 7 is juggled but recovered. A high pass goes over everybody and skips towards out of bounds, and it will go out of bounds. Hatton couldn't track it down, and so Milton will take over again. The Mustangs running with the ball. They get across midfield. Pass is floated over and misses, being chased but picked up ultimately by the netminder Peterson. Curtis was trying to make a play on it, but couldn't get there fast enough. The pass was intended for number 27, Anna Cressman. Peterson winds up since a long pass. It's going to be contested and intercepted by Josephine Vogel. Vogel now running with it. She's got some space to work. Surveying, looking for an open passing lane. Decides to just keep running with it. Still looking for an opening. Has the ball knocked away, but she knocks it back to her teammate. That's Murphy. Murphy tries to send a pass inside, but misses her target. It's recovered by Dunn. Eliza Dunn now running around a defender. Charging, shoots, scores! Eliza Dunn. Milton takes back the lead on that score by the senior attacker from Hingham, Massachusetts. A couple of risky passes by Milton almost spelled a turnover, but it bounced right into the pocket of Eliza Dunn, who made a quick move around her defender and a nice cut towards the net for a good shot. 4 minutes, 3 seconds left here in the first period. Some spitting rain here at Milton Academy as the Mustangs lead the Red Wings 3-2. The draw will once again, looks like they're going to whistle for an infraction, and it's going to go to Rivers. Rivers again with the offensive possession. They've been doing well on the draws thus far, as the ball is almost knocked away by Jane Feeney, but instead they blow the whistle. Possession stays with Rivers. Now charging towards the net, but having to retreat. Pass out to number 7. 7 flips it over to number 8. 8 coming around her defender, but runs into another one. Nice help on the defense. They pass it out to number 7. She runs to the left, sends a pass inside, shot, and scores! I believe that was Hatton again. Second goal of the day from Hatton. Knots the score up at 3 apiece, and it looks like we got a timeout. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the first period. The score, the Milton Academy Mustangs 3 and the Rivers School Red Wings 3. The goals thus far from Rivers, they've had 2 goals from number 5, Hatton, and 1 goal from number 9, Fenard. For Milton, they've had 3 different scorers. The first scorer of the day was Emily Cunahan. Second goal came from Josephine Vogel. And the third goal came from Eliza Dunn. So a close back and forth contest here in the first period of this game. Three minutes and 30 seconds left here in the first. Rivers has been doing a pretty good job on the draw controls in order to get themselves possessions. But Milton's done a pretty good job on defense, limiting the damage from those lack of opening possessions. One of the conventional schools of thought in girls lacrosse is that because the rule sets in regards to penalties very heavily favor the offensive players, that if you get the possession off the draw controls, that is so much more crucial than a lot of other sports with face-offs, because it's just that much harder for the defense to take it away. But the Mustangs defense doing a pretty solid job, I think, thus far of mitigating that potential damage and getting themselves some turnovers and offensive possessions as a result. Teams coming back out onto the field. We'll be having another draw in the middle between Cohen, number 15 of Rivers, and presumably number 22, Josephine Vogel of Milton. Oh no, looks like they're going to swap in Jane Feeney on the draw control. And it looks like Rivers is going to swap in a new draw taker as well. This is number 11, Holmes. So a whole new draw pair. We'll see what this results in. Draw is taken. It's sent towards the Milton side. And for a second, it looked like it was picked up by number 13. Skipped away from a number of people, and now it's picked up by Cohen. Cohen still running with it. Runs into some defenders and has to pull back. Sends a pass out the back. I believe that's number 9, Fenard with the ball. Sends a pass inside to Benosh. Shoots, score! A nice pass from behind the net by Fenard. She finds number 4, Keebaugh, who scores the go-ahead goal. Rivers School takes the 4-3 lead. I believe this is Rivers' first lead of the game thus far. Rain's starting to pick up a little. Here's hoping it passes over. Just from my own perspective, I don't care if I get wet, but I don't want the technology to get wet, of course. We got another draw being taken by Feeney and Holmes. Draw is taken. It's sent again towards the Milton side, and we got too hard of a slash from Holmes. Results in Feeney picking up the ball and running with it. Feeney running in transition. Well defended by number 13, but she floats a pass over to Fernandopol. Fernandopol surveys, sends a pass, another quick pass. Cunahan looked like she had a chance, but instead we got a whistle. So it looks like Emily Cunahan will be operating out of the free position here. Our first free position chance. She charges and decides to pass behind the net. This is Murphy who swings it over to Dunn. Dunn with the ball, running around, looking for an opening, sends a pass that skips away from Cunahan, might have been slightly deflected, but it's recovered by Cunahan. Sends a pass over to Murphy behind the net, back to Cunahan. Cunahan taking her time while her team gets in formation. Starts to move, swings it over to Murphy. Murphy sends it back out to Fernandopol. Fernandopol charges around her defender, goes in, shoots, turned away. A nice defensive stand there from Rivers. It seemed like Catherine Fernandopol had a really good chance at the net there and maybe tying this thing back up. But instead, it is Rivers now working in transition as they send a long pass across midfield over to number 7. It is juggled but recovered. Moving towards the net, looking for a pass, sends a pass, and a quick shot, gets past the goalie and in. I believe that was Fenard again. Fenard gives this game its first multi-goal lead. After her second goal of the game thus far. 5-3. Now the score in favor of the Red Wings. We have 1:09 left here in the first period. And it'll be Vogel versus Cohen. We're back to the original draw takers now. Draw is taken straight up in the air. It's going to be a jump for it. Now it's a bit of a scrum for the ball. It's pushed towards the Milton side, but it's pushed out of bounds, and they say it went off of Rivers number 13, Sally. Instead, it'll be Vogel running with it. Defended by Sally. Vogel crosses her over, gets a bit of space, and sends an easy pass over to, I think that's Cressman. That is Cressman, who then floats it over to Vogel, who sends it behind the net to Cunahan. Now over to Murphy and over to Dunn. Quick pass over to Jane Feeney. Feeney surveying her options. starting to charge in. Crosses over her defender, but one comes over to help. She has to retreat. Now she's going to try and charge again. Weaving through, hitting too much traffic. Low sweeping shot, but it's deflected. Scooped up on the rebound by Murphy. And she sends a floating pass over to the other side to Cressman. Cressman with the ball. She fakes out one defender, starts to charge, shoot. Saved by Peterson. Milton has been getting some pretty decent shots late in the first period, but some good defense from Carly Peterson and the Rivers School Red Wings. And that horn means the end of the first period. And through one, our score is the Rivers School Red Wings 5, the Milton Academy Mustangs 3. I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan on behalf of Milton Academy, giving you live coverage of this Independent School League game between Milton Academy and Rivers School. And I'll be back when we return to the action after a short mute break. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to the turf field at Milton Academy in Milton, Massachusetts. My name is Jesse Mayfield Sheehan and I'm here to bring you live coverage of this Independent School League girls lacrosse game between the Milton Academy Mustangs and the Rivers School Red Wings. Scoreboard a bit obscured there, but the score is Rivers 5, Milton 3 after one period of play. We now go into the second period. The two teams were trading goals back and forth through much of the first period, but Rivers started to pull away late. The goal scorers thus far for Milton, it's been Emily Coonahan, Josephine Vogel, and Eliza Dunn. For Rivers, it's been 2 from Hatton, 2 from Fenard, and 1 from Keebaugh. As we get set for the opening draw of this second period. Draw is taken, up in the air. Feeney almost had it, but instead it is recovered by Rivers number 8. Running with it, being chased by several Mustangs, but she gets across the attack line and into safety. Swings a pass over to Keebaugh, who then floats it over to number 7. A pass inside, kind of dangerous, but she gets around her defender. That was Holmes, who decided against the shot, sent it behind the net, and now an outlet pass over to number 7. Sent back towards the center to Cohen, who then swings it over to Keebaugh, and now a pass attempted for number 7, misses the mark, and it's picked up by Catherine Fernandopol. Fernandopol sends a pass ahead to Eleanor Murphy, who juggles it but recovers and keeps the movement going. She sends a pass ahead to Jane Feeney. Feeney now sends it ahead. This is Josephine Vogel now running with it. She slows things down so they can get the play started. Sends a pass behind the net, I assume to Cunahan, who then passes it over to Dunn. And then the attempted pass for Murphy skips away, but is recovered, almost recovered, but not recovered. It was Cressman who was trying to get it, but couldn't quite get the scoop properly, as now we've got a whistle on Cressman, as she tripped up Fenard from behind. The pass ahead to Keebaugh. Keebaugh spins around her defender and gets into the attack zone. Sends a pass over to Fenard. Fenard surveys, sends a pass all the way over to the other side. Now coming around the defender, looking for an opening. I think that's number 8, who then passes it over to Fenard. Sent behind the net, floated back out. Dangerous pass. They were looking for Hatton, and it looks like it's going to be a loose ball. And they're going to give it to Milton Academy. No score thus far here in the second period. Rivers still leads Milton 5-3. As Milton now working in transition. A long floating pass ahead to Josephine Vogel. She's got some space to work with. Murphy's cutting towards the net. Vogel continues to run with it. Floats a pass over. Oh, just missed Cressman. And Cressman trying to scoop it up again, and she can't do it. It's picked up by Rivers. Now the Red Wings working in transition. Running along the far side. Now starting to cut in, floating a pass over to Fenard. Fenard fakes out one defender, shoots, misses wide. That ball goes out of bounds, out the back, but I believe possession will stay with Rivers. Couple passes floated, it goes to Fenard. Now up top to Cohen. Swung over to Keebaugh. Now sent over to, I believe, Hatton. Sent behind the net. Couple quick passes, and now they pass inside. I think that was Hatton who had it. But she gets hit, and this is going to be a shot from the free position. Actually, I think this might be number 8. Winds up and shoots and misses high. And so number 11, Holmes, whiffs on her pass attempt, and it's taken away by Milton. Passed ahead, Vogel juggles it, but she scoops it back up and starts running. Floats it ahead to Feeney. Feeney running across midfield, heading towards the attack zone. Still running, defenders coming over to help. She sends a floating pass ahead, gets to Murphy, who scores! Eleanor Murphy finishing there. Off the great pass from Jane Feeney. The speed with which Milton instigated that transition play really put the Rivers defense on their heels. Feeney really had her choice of where to go. She had a couple of teammates open, but Murphy was standing right in front of the net there. And while the pass was heavily contested by multiple Rivers defenders, Feeney managed to get it away to Murphy, who put it in for the score. 5-4, now the tally still in favor of Rivers. Vogel versus Cohen. Actually, that's not Vogel who took that draw, but either way, it's won and collected by Fernandopol. Passed ahead to Murphy. Murphy, well defended, runs around some defenders and around the back. Floats it over to Eliza Dunn. Dunn sends it back over to number 13, Audrey Howley, who then sends it over to Fernandopol. Another couple of quick passes. Goes around the back over to Murphy, now over to Dunn. Dunn surveys her options. Starts to move, trying to cross up a defender, but she's being double teamed. There's really nowhere for her to go. And she finally gets around to a teammate she can pass to. That's Cressman. Sends the pass towards the corner. It's juggled by Cunahan. She manages to pick it up, but I think they say she picked it up out of bounds. Or no, they're going to say it was a penalty on Rivers, so Cunahan gets to send a pass over to Murphy. Murphy sends it out to Fernandopol. Fernandopol starts to charge. Hits a help defender. And now we've got another whistle. This one might be against Rivers for too aggressive a defense against Fernandopol. Catherine Fernandopol starts to charge out of the free position. Hits traffic, pulls back, sends a long floating pass behind the net. I believe that is Murphy, who then sends it over to Cressman. Cressman sends it back up top to Dunn. Dunn juggling it, but she manages to recover, and they blow the whistle anyway and point the possession for Milton. Dunn starting to run with it, running to her right. Gets cross-checked by a defender, and Dunn will be operating out of the free position. Dunn starts to move. She gets poked away from behind. A nice play by Cohen. Cohen throws it ahead to, I believe, Keebaugh. Keebaugh floats it over. This is number 22 on Rivers' side. Number 22 sends it over to Keebaugh. Now over to number 8, whose pass misses number 7, but it's recovered, I think, by Cohen. Flipped over to number 7, now to number 8. Number 8 starting to charge in. Some help defenders coming along. The ball's knocked loose, but they're going to blow the whistle. Number 8, Naraki, will be operating out of the free position. She decides to hold firm and restart the play. Up top to Keebaugh. Swung over to number 7. Then a quick pass to 22, who spins, passes to Keebaugh. Keebaugh starts to charge in, gets double teamed. Forced to retreat. Floats a pass towards the back. I believe that's Fenard, who comes around the back, shoots, and gets it in. Fenard completes the hat trick here in the second period. She has half of the scores for the Red Wings so far today, as Rivers now takes the 6-4 lead. 5 minutes and 16 seconds left here in the second period. And Milton is back in the 2-goal deficit after that one. It'll be Naraki taking the draw for Rivers. Didn't quite see who it was for Milton. Draw is taken. I believe that was taken by Howley from Milton's side, but it is recovered by Sally for Rivers. Sally now running with it. Runs into Fernandopol. Has to send a pass back out to one of her teammates. Now running around the defender, starting to charge. I think that's Naraki, who now sends the pass back to, I believe, Hatton. Hatton with 2 goals already today. Floats the pass over to Keebaugh. Now looking for number 7. It was slightly deflected, but recovered by 7. Pass to Hatton, now over to Keebaugh. And now pass to 22, but we've got a whistle. And so they're going to let Keebaugh operate out of the free position. She passes to number 7, Nuvekis. Nuvekis sends it over to number 22, Del Cole. Del Cole sends it back to Nuvekis. Now over to Keebaugh. Back to Nuvekis. Nuvekis sends it all the way back. I believe that is Fenard. Fenard swings a pass over, but it's juggled and lost and picked up by Milton. Milton again taking advantage of the passing errors, and they start to move in transition, but Cunahan has juggled it. It's been lost, but I think it looks like they're going to give it to Milton Academy. No, they aren't. They're going to give it to the Red Wings. No, it is going to Milton. Well, color me confused after that one, but either way, Emily Cunahan running with the ball now into the attack zone. She gets cornered near the sideline, though. But after the whistle, she gets to move out of the free position. Goes behind the net and sends a pass back over. I think that is Cressman, who comes out and then swings it over to Dunn. Dunn passes to Murphy. Murphy running to her right, trying to gain the edge. Help defense coming, and she has to pass it behind the net. That was Feeney who passes it over. Now coming around the back, an attempted pass is just missed the target. That looks like a good chance there. But the rebound is picked up by Dunn and passed over to Cressman. Cressman floats it over. And getting cross-checked was number 14, Caroline Curtis. Curtis will get a chance to operate out of the free position. Bit of a distance from the net, though. Curtis starts to charge, trying to force her way through. Sends a floating shot that was well contested. It goes over the net, but possession stays with Milton. The pass over to Howley, who tries to throw it inside, and it's intercepted and taken away by Rivers. Running with it now is number 22, Del Cole. Del Cole sends a pass ahead. This is Finard, who gets around her defender and is starting to run with it, but it's knocked away, and oh, there is a whistle. For a second, I thought that was a clean takeaway, but the whistle did come. Just over 2 minutes left here in the period. 6-4 still the score. The pass over to Del Cole, then passed over to Nuvekis. Nuvekis swings it over. I think that's Holmes. Holmes sends it over to Del Cole. Del Cole to Nuvekis. Now back over to Holmes. Holmes starts to charge, but hits traffic, finds a good pass, and there's the goal. I believe that was Naraki. A good find by number 11, Holmes. And Naraki, good positioning there. Behind the defense and in front of the net. That goal makes it 7-4 in favor of the Red Wings. 1:45 left here in the second period. Draw goes straight up into the air. A battle for it. Now it's going to be a chase, and it's picked up. That's Josephine Vogel. Vogel into the attack zone after the draw control. She fakes out one defender, starts to charge. Help comes. She has to slow down. Sends a pass behind, and now a pass inside over the target's outstretched stick and recovered by Rivers. That's number 7, Nuvekis, who recovers the ball after the errant pass inside. Rivers now working in transition here. And the pass is intercepted. That's Eleanor Murphy, who juggles and loses the ball, but picks it back up. She's now in the attack zone again. Murphy still running with it. Swings it over to, I believe, Cressman. A pass inside to Feeney. Feeney comes around, goes for the shot, and it's in! Jane Feeney. Less than a minute to go, and she gets Milton their 5th goal. And I believe their 5th different goal scorer. Let's go, 7-5 now the score after the nice scrappy goal by Jane Feeney. It was a nice find on the pass, but Feeney still had a couple defenders to force her way around before she could get a halfway decent shot that managed to get itself in the net. 7-5, Rivers leads Milton Academy. Draw is taken, it's being chased, and it's picked up by Feeney. Feeney running with it. Starts to charge, looking for a passing outlet. Nothing there. She's being well defended, and she has to send a retreating pass out. And now charging towards the net, and we've got a whistle blown. And they're going to call it against Milton. They're calling it against, I believe that's number 26, Eleanor Rain. Rivers now working in transition. They pass ahead to Nuvekis. Nuvekis working against Vogel in the midfield. Trying to work that transition. And running with it will be Rivers number 10. She gets a pick and gets into the attack zone. Floats a pass over to Keebaugh. Keebaugh running around the back, sends a pass, but it's intercepted. Well defended by Milton, and they start to work the transition game. It's passed ahead to Cunahan, but that's it for time. So we are through 2 periods here at Milton Academy in Milton, Massachusetts. The current score, the Rivers School Red Wings 7, the Milton Academy Mustangs 5. I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan, bringing you live coverage of this Independent School League girls lacrosse game. And I'll be back with the 3rd period after a short mute break. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back. I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan, live here at the turf field at Milton Academy in Milton, Massachusetts. Here to bring you this Independent School League girls lacrosse game between the visiting Rivers School Red Wings and the hosting Milton Academy Mustangs. The score through 2 periods, Rivers 7, Milton 5. For the visitors, number 9, Finard, has been leading the way with 3 goals. Number 5, Hatton, has 2. And then they have 1 goal each from number 4, Keebaugh, and number 8, Naraki. For Milton, they have gotten scores from Emily Coonahan, Josephine Vogel, Eliza Dunn, Eleanor Murphy, and Jane Feeney. So 5 different goal scorers from Milton, while Rivers has 2 multi-goal scorers, one with a hat trick. Two teams getting ready to come out for the 3rd period. Milton certainly hoping things go better, and it looks like they're going to have a substitution in net. Now in net is going to be number 32, Kaylee Brousseau. Taking the draw for the Mustangs will be number 22, Josephine Vogel. And it looks like getting ready to take the draw for Rivers will be number 8, Naraki. Each of these 2 draw takers has already scored a goal today. And we'll see what they're able to do. Starting things off here, the opening draw of the 3rd period. Up in the air it goes. Nice leaping grab by Jane Feeney, and she's off to the races with it. Into the attack zone very quickly, cuts to her right. Now surveying, swings a pass all the way over to the other side. Charging toward the net, that's Vogel. Tried for a pass inside, missed, but recovered behind the net by Emily Coonahan. Passes getting swung around. It's currently with Feeney. Sends a pass up top to Eliza Dunn. Dunn starts to run to her right, runs into a couple defenders, flips a pass over to Catherine Fernandopol. Fernandopol works her way through a few defenders, but her shot misses wide. Possession stays with Milton Academy. Dunn swings a pass over behind the net, now passed out to Vogel. Vogel runs into a defender, trying to fake her out, but nothing doing so far. Resets from the center, tries a pass inside, hits traffic, and now a loose ball being fought for. Some pushing and shoving, and it gets sent all the way back to the goalie, Carly Peterson. Now Rivers working in transition. Couple passes floated ahead. It now goes to number 7, Nuvekis, and now ahead to number 15, Cohen. She swings it over to Keebaugh. Sent ahead to Finard. A quick pass right in front of the net is Hatton for the score. Some nice quick passing from the Red Wings, and they get the first goal of the 3rd period. 8-5 now the tally here. We are a little over a minute and a half here into this 3rd period. 10:59 shows on the clock for the period. And the Red Wings now lead the Mustangs 8-5. Once again, it'll be Vogel versus Naraki on the draw. Draw goes up in the air. It's going to be another jump ball. It's controlled for a second by Del Cole, but she couldn't quite haul it in, and now we've got a whistle. Milton got a little too physical trying to chase it from a bad position. Del Cole floats a pass intended for Cohen, but misses, and it'll be scooped up by Eliza Dunn. Dunn throws it ahead to Murphy. Murphy throws it ahead for Cressman. Cressman now running with it, cuts to her left. She's got some space, floats a pass over. They're behind the net. I think it was Feeney, who now swings it over to, I believe, Cunahan. Cunahan coming around the back, goes for the shot, and it's in! Emily Cunahan with her second goal of the day. It seemed like she had such a narrow angle when she came out from behind the back, and yet she found a way to fit it in there for her second goal of the day. The score now, Rivers 8, Milton Academy 6. So Milton still got a little bit of a ways to go before they can complete any potential comeback. And they've got to be sure to keep Rivers from responding, because Rivers has been very good at responding to the Milton scores with scores of their own. Draw gets taken. Once again, it was Vogel versus Naraki, and this one is collected by Feeney, and Feeney off to the races. Floats a pass over to her left to Cressman. A pass down low, a shot scored! Second goal of the day for Eleanor Murphy. Again, we see that quick transition game has been working wonders on both sides. Jane Feeney collected the draw and then immediately ran into the attack zone. A quick pass over to Cressman, who had a nice find, getting it to Murphy down low, and then Murphy tickled the twine for goal number 7 for the Mustangs. 8-7 now the score. And in the blink of an eye, we have a 1-goal game. 9:57 it reads on the clock here in the third period. It looks like it'll be Vogel versus Cohen on the draw this time. A little more contested for this draw, and it's picked up by Cressman. Cressman runs it past the attack line, passes over to Dunn. Dunn cuts quickly, throws it over the net, but behind it, and we'll see where the possession goes. It's going to stay with Milton Academy. There's a bit of a chase towards the back end there, but the Mustangs retain possession. A few passes, and it goes to Catherine Fernandopol. Fernandopol cuts around a couple players. Oh, a nice looking pass, but just misses Cunahan, and it's picked up by the goalie Peterson. Rivers now takes over. That was very close to being the equalizer. As the Red Wings now work in transition, this is Nuvekis bringing the ball up, being chased from behind by Cunahan, but she gets past the attack line. The pass goes over to Hatton. Hatton passes it over to Nuvekis. Now sent over to Del Cole. Over to Cohen this time. Cohen being well defended. Sends a pass to the back. And now a pass inside looking for Naraki. Well defended. She's trying to come around the back. Again, well defended. Can't find an opening as a swarm of Mustangs there to stop her. A couple passes. It goes back to Del Cole. Now over to Hatton. Hatton passes inside for Keebaugh. Keebaugh now looking for, I think that's Fenard. But they run out of room there, and that was actually Nuvekis, not Fenard. But either way, some nice team defense there from the Mustangs, swarming around the net, as now Cohen working behind the net, gets a bit of a too hard of a push from number 23, Lily Stoller. Cohen will be working from behind the net now. Tries to get around a defender. Floats the pass over to Fenard, who then sends it over to Del Cole. Sent over to Keebaugh. And as they work around, they're now behind the net again with Nuvekis. Nuvekis being pursued by Stoller. She floats a pass over to Hatton, and we've got a whistle again. I think that's going to be against Stoller once again. Nuvekis operating out of the free position. She comes out from behind, a pass to Cohen, shot, score! Help defense had to come over out of the free position. And that left Cohen wide open for the pass from Nuvekis. And Cohen buried it. 9-7. Now the lead for Rivers School. As once again, they do a good job responding to Milton's momentum. We're back to a 2-goal game with 7:24 left here in the third period. Draw being taken by Vogel and Cohen. It's going to be a jump, and it's taken by Vogel. Vogel now running with it. Cross the attack line. Passed ahead to Cressman. Cressman running with it along the left side. She lost the ball, and oh, I thought it was picked up, but now it's picked up and passed over to Dunn, and it misses Dunn, and now a loose ball again. It looks like this time it will be picked up by Rivers. The pass goes over to the goalie Peterson, and Rivers takes over. Milton just couldn't hang on to the ball with that possession. A couple of loose balls. They got lucky on the first, but not on the second. Sally with the ball. She juggles and loses it. Chance here, and it's picked up by Cressman. The unforced turnover there, and Cressman passes over to Feeney. Feeney cuts around, sends a pass. Low shot, saved by Peterson. I believe that was a chance for Eleanor Murphy, who was trying to get the hat trick there. She thought she had a fake, but Peterson read her low shot coming all the way. Just over 6 minutes left here in the third period. Now Rivers working in transition again. They make it to midfield this time. And now they lose the ball again, but this time they recover it and get into the attack zone. Pass floated over to Fenard. Fenard gets hit, and she'll get a free position. Fenard winds up, shoots, and scores. Fourth goal of the day for Fenard, as she extends her team's lead to 10-7. 5:18 now left in the third period, and it looks like we got a timeout called by Milton Academy. 10-7 the score. Goals for Milton Academy. They've got 2 goals from Eleanor Murphy and 1 apiece from Eliza Dunn, Jane Feeney, 2, I believe, from Emily Coonahan, and 1 from Josephine Vogel. So 2 apiece from Coonahan and Murphy, and then 1 apiece from Dunn, Feeney, and Vogel. On Rivers' side, 4 goals from number 9, Fenard. I believe 2 from Hatton, and 1 each from Cohen, Naraki, Keebaugh, and I think actually Hatton has 3. It's been quite the number of goals to keep track of. 17 in total between these 2 teams. Keeping it relatively close. But Rivers has always been very good at responding to all the comeback attempts from Milton Academy. Milton has not led in this game since they held a 3-2 advantage back in the first period. Two teams getting ready to come out of this timeout. Teams coming out of their huddles. And if I'm Milton Academy, then the one piece of advice I'm giving to my players would be, you know, don't try to rush things. Don't try and do the quick pass inside if it's not there. Feel free to take your time and survey it. You've got time to work with when you've got the offensive possession. You know, Rivers tends to take more time with their possessions, cycle it around, look for that opening. And Milton Academy, if they practice a little more patience, they could get some more consistent scoring and maybe come back in this game. 10-7 the score. The draw between Vogel and Cohen. Jumped up for it, and it's taken by Vogel. Vogel now racing with it. Moving to her left, and she sends it back to Catherine Fernandopol. Fernandopol sends it over to Feeney. Feeney looking for it, passes it back towards the center to Fernandopol. Fernandopol starts to drive. Nice pass to Feeney, and she scores! Fantastic teamwork there. The great assist from Catherine Fernandopol, finding Jane Feeney, who didn't try and rush the shot while she was off balance, faked out the keeper, and put a nice shot into the back of the net. 10-8 now the score. Back to a 2-goal game now. Milton currently outscoring Rivers in this third period 3-2. And we got another draw control, and it's won again by Vogel. But Vogel lost the ball. Taken away by Del Cole. Del Cole running along the right side. Sends a pass out the back to number 5, Hatton. Hatton says a pass, and that one is deflected from Del Cole, and we got a loose ball whistle. And it looks like they're going to give it to Milton Academy. So Milton now working in transition. Long pass sent ahead from Stoller to Eleanor Murphy. Murphy's got 2 goals already today. She runs along the left side. Starts to hit traffic, spins around, sends a pass out to Vogel. Vogel swings it over to Fernandopol. Now a long pass over to Eliza Dunn. Dunn sends it to the corner. Charging in a pass towards Fernandopol. Fernandopol fakes out one defender, charges in, shoots and scores! Catherine Fernandopol with her first score of the game. Following up that nice assist to Jane Feeney on the last goal. She takes this one herself. Had the opening. Back-to-back great reads on the charges by Catherine Fernandopol. She knew to pass on the last one and knew to take it herself on this one. She gets the assist and then she gets the goal, and now Milton is just 1 goal back of Rivers. 10-9 the score. Vogel back in to take the draw. She's been doing very well the past few draws, although she lost the ball last time. This one is jumped up, it's knocked away, and Fernandopol scoops it up and passes it ahead to Vogel. Vogel being pursued from behind by Fenard. She crosses the attack line, patiently watching behind her, and ends up swinging the pass over. The pass is knocked away and knocked out of bounds, and they're going to give it to Rivers. Grace Panaris was trying to pass it away there, but well defended by Rivers. They knock it out of bounds, and they knock it out of bounds off of Milton Academy. Now running in the transition game, a little bit of physicality there, and they take her to the ground. That was number 10, Castellucci with the ball, who got fouled, and now she sends a pass ahead to Nuvekis, which is juggled but recovered by Nuvekis. Weaving through. Sends the pass over to Keebaugh. Keebaugh now brings it over to Del Cole. Del Cole floats it over to Cohen, who sends it to the corner to, I believe, Hatton. Now out the back, a pass outside of the back. That's Finard going for a shot, and she misses that one. She hasn't missed a lot of those. She's been almost automatic. Rivers maintains possession. Couple passes, and now it goes back to Cohen. Now back up top to Del Cole. Del Cole gets around her defender, starts to charge, swings it over to Keebaugh. Keebaugh sends it towards the middle, and now retreating out is Naraki. Naraki sends a pass inside to Keebaugh, shot, and that one's in. Keebaugh with her second goal of the day. And Rivers goes back up by 2. 11-9 is the margin right now with 1:50 left in what's been a very exciting third period here at Milton Academy Turf Field.
Here we go, Blue, here we go.
It'll be Vogel versus Naraki on the draw once again. They're set up for the draw. It's up, bouncing, and it's going to be scooped up by Del Cole. Del Cole running with it into the attack zone, being chased from behind. She flips a pass over and a shot, and that one finds the corner of the net. And I believe that was Finard again with her 5th goal of the day. She has been unstoppable thus far as she now gives her team the 12-9 lead. It really has been 2 steps forward, 2 steps back for the Mustangs in their attempts at a comeback. They scored back-to-back goals to make it a 1-goal game, but then Rivers responded with 2 goals, and now it's back to a 3-goal margin at 12-9. It is Jane Feeney taking the draw for Milton this time. Up it goes, and it's knocked over to Del Cole. Del Cole controlling it, passes it over to Sally. Sally now running in transition, being chased by Cressman, but she gets across the attack line, gets through a couple of players, lost the ball for a second, but we've got a whistle. 1:15 seconds left. They quickly pass, Cohen shoots, saved, but rebounded and shot. Deflected. It's a scrum right in front of the net. It's knocked away and picked up for a second by Stoller. Knocked again. And we finally got a whistle, and that's going to officially give the ball back to Milton Academy. A nice save there at almost point-blank range by Kaylee Brousseau. Stoller almost lost the ball again, but now she's working in transition. It's a long floating pass ahead to Cressman. Cressman running along the far side. Sends a long pass ahead. Finds her target. That's Eliza Dunn. Eliza Dunn running around the back, looking for an opening. Turns around, sends a pass. The pass goes out now to Vogel. And Vogel gives it over to Feeney. Feeney charges and then retreats, passes over to Vogel. Vogel fakes again, starts to charge and shoots, misses wide, but Dunn is right there to maintain the possession. They're running out of time, and clock was a bit delayed in going, but they get a penalty, and this is Grace Panaris, who's going to have the free position. They're running out of time, though. And that's going to run out before they can operate out of the free position. That's one of the tough things about the clock in various sports. Sometimes even while you're setting up for dead ball play, the clock will continue to run. End of 3 here at the turf field at Milton Academy in Milton, Massachusetts. The score, the Rivers School Red Wings 12, the Milton Academy Mustangs 9. I am Jesse Mayfield Chan on behalf of Milton Academy, bringing you live coverage of this Independent School League girls lacrosse game. And I'll be back with the 4th period of play after a quick mute break. Stay tuned. And I'm back. I am Jesse Mayfield Chan, bringing you live coverage of this Independent School League girls lacrosse game between the visiting Rivers School Red Wings and the hosting Milton Academy Mustangs. The score right now reads 12-9 in favor of the visiting team after a back and forth 3rd period that ultimately saw both teams scoring 4 goals. Very exciting back and forth match this one has been throughout most of the game. But Rivers thus far has always just had a little bit more than Milton. And now the Mustangs with their last chance to try and outpace the Red Wings here in the 4th and final period of regulation. They've got 12 minutes and 30 seconds to make up a 3-goal deficit. They have not led since back when it was 3-2 in the 1st period. It'll be Josephine Vogel taking the draw once again for the Mustangs. And I believe that is number 8, Naraki, taking the draw for the Red Wings. Ball's in the air and the 4th period's underway. It's caught by Jane Feeney. Feeney's been so good running into transition into the attack zone. She brings it in this time. Well defended by Sally. She looks around and sends a pass along to Grace Panaris. Sent behind the back. Now passed out to Vogel. Now Vogel looking around. Couple fakes. Fakes again, starts to charge, hits traffic, passes over to Panaris. Panaris tries to go around a pick, but no room to run there. She pulls back, flips a pass over to Dunn. Eliza Dunn now sends it over to Feeney. Feeney tries to charge in, hits traffic, passes over to Catherine Fernandopol. Fernandopol, nice fake, spin, floats a pass in. Did they get that one in? Was that a between the legs shot? That was Jane Feeney completing the hat trick. There was a bit of a crowd. I'm not sure if I saw this correctly, but I think she sent that shot between her legs with her back to the goalie. That's nuts. However that goal was scored, it's the 3rd goal of the day for Jane Feeney, and it narrows the deficit to 12-10. Rivers still leads. We've got 11:42 left here in regulation. Vogel against Naraki again on the draw, and The ball is loose, and we've got a whistle blow. And they're going to give it to Milton Academy. Feeney sends the pass ahead. I believe that's Eleanor Murphy now running with it. Weaves through. And no, that was Eliza Dunn who scores! My mistake on the initial identification. That was not Eleanor Murphy. That was Eliza Dunn, who took off like a rocket after receiving the pass from Feeney, weaving through defenders and getting the open shot. It is a one-goal ball game once again, 12-11. We are 1 minute and 10 seconds into this fourth period, and Milton has already scored twice. But as we've seen throughout this game up to this point, this is where the real test begins. Milton starts to build some momentum, but then Rivers immediately cuts into that momentum and extends their lead again. This is the crucial time. 1 goal away from a tie. Can the Mustangs finish the job? 11 minutes, 20 seconds left here in the fourth period. Goals from Grace Feeney and Eliza Dunn have taken this from a 12-9 game to a 12-11 game. Josephine Vogel taking the draw once again against Naraki. Up in the air it goes, jumping for it. Ball's loose, and it's picked up by Sally. So Rivers will take the possession this time. Sally runs into the attack zone. Sally gets around one defender, but another one comes over to help, and she has to retreat. Trying to spin around her defender again, floats a pass over behind the net, and the pass attempted on the outlet skips away from one player, picked up by Del Cole and sent back into the attack zone. Operating along the far side, I believe that's Nuvekis, sends the pass intended for Naraki, juggled, picked up, shot, saved by Brousseau. Got a whistle as the defender got too aggressive against Brousseau. She flips the pass over to Lily Stoller. Pass ahead goes to Vogel. Vogel now running with it in transition. She brings it into the attack zone. Milton officially on the offense now. A pass to Feeney, who spins around her defender, starts to charge, gets the ball knocked away, but draws the whistle. Feeney will be operating out of the free position. She has 3 goals already today. Can she make it 4 and tie this ball game? The whistle, charge, shot, saved, loose ball, scrumming for it, and it's picked up for a second and then lost and then picked up by Fernando Pol. But they're going to blow the whistle against Milton Academy. A great save there by Carly Peterson preserves the Rivers lead, as now it is Kebaugh, who is running with it, but passes it over to Fenard. Fenard now cutting towards the net. She's got 5 already. Tries for 6, save Brousseau. Brousseau skips an awkward pass over to, I believe, Lily Stoller. Stoller bringing it out into the midfield. Stumbled a bit, but recovered. Sends the pass ahead to Anna Cressman. Cressman being well defended as she tries to get her team into the attack zone. She flips a pass over to Vogel. Vogel now passes over to Stoller. Stoller going to charge into the attack zone. Loose ball. Still loose. Picked up by Stoller. Flips it over to Fernando Pol. And now Milton can set their attack. And we've got a whistle. That whistle is going to go against Rivers, and Catherine Fernando Pol will be operating out of the free position. She's got 1 goal today and a couple of really nice assists. Out of the free position, fakes out a defender, charges in. She's going to try and force it. It's in! Tie ball game! Catherine Fernando Pol. Through strength and will, she scraps her way through the defense and puts that one in the back of the net to knot this game up at 12 apiece. 3 unanswered goals from the Mustangs to to start this period. As you can see, some of the students hanging out in that far corner starting the wave in support of their girls lacrosse team. 12 all, 8 minutes, 11 seconds. And this turning into a really exciting ball game. Once again, Vogel versus Naraki on the draw. Ball's up in the air, skipping towards the Milton end and scooped up by Del Cole. Del Cole pushed out of bounds. They're going to call that against Feeney. And now the pass quickly flipped over to Naraki. Now over to Hatton. Hatton streaking towards the net. Well defended, pulled back. Clumsy shot, skips right into the pocket of Milton Academy. And now they're trying to work. Loose ball, having trouble scooping it up, and it's going to be lost out of bounds, and the possession is going to go back to Rivers School. Number 16, Corey Miller, was struggling to pick that one up. Now Rivers working around the back of the net, passed over to Finard. Finard passed to Keebaugh. Keebaugh passes it over, and now a pass behind the net. Swinging it around, they go to Hatton, but she loses track of the ball, and it's quickly scooped up by Lily Stoller. Stoller now running with it along the near side, passes ahead to Emily Cunahan. Cunahan with 2 goals already today. She gets pushed out of bounds. And after that whistle, she's going to have to start again from the free position. Sends the pass over to Feeney. Feeney passes it over to Vogel. Vogel fakes out her defender, starts to charge, sends a retreating pass to Fernando Pole. Fernando Pole passes back to Vogel. Vogel fakes, shoots, well deflected, and it misses. But out the back comes Eleanor Murphy. Outlet pass to Dunn, who swings it over to Fernando Pole. Fernando Pole gets around one defender, swings through another, shoots and scores! Catherine Fernando Pole with both the equalizer and the go-ahead. What an exciting period this has been for the Mustangs. And particularly from the senior midi from Milton, Massachusetts, Catherine Fernando Pole. She completes the hat trick with her 2 goals here this period, and we've got a timeout called. That's how you complete a comeback right there. And as great as the offense has been, you've also got to give credit to the Milton Academy defense that has been smothering a potent Rivers attack throughout this period. Rivers has had chances, but it now feels like they're trying to rush shots from inoptimal positions. And now it is Milton who is getting the looks that they want towards the net. Started with that crazy between the legs shot by Jane Feeney that got her team on the board. After that, a sprinting, weaving score from Eliza Dunn made it a 1-goal game. After that, Catherine Fernando Pole took over. 2 scores in succession to make it 13-12. What an exciting game this has been. If you know a fan of Milton Academy girls lacrosse and they're not watching this game, you better tell them to watch this game because this one is getting good. The Mustangs have trailed for almost the entire game. The last lead they had was in the first period back when it was 3-2. Since then, Rivers has held the momentum for much of it. They pulled ahead 8-5 by halftime and pretty much matched Milton shot for shot, goal streak for goal streak throughout the 3rd period. They come into this period at a lead of 12-9. And since then, the Mustangs have taken over. Once again, it'll be Josephine Vogel going up against Naraki for the draw control. 6 minutes, 28 seconds left here in regulation. And I got to make sure I specify regulation with how close this game has been, because you never know. Up in the air it goes. Battle for the ball is won by Sally. She takes it for the Red Wings. Running in transition. Gets into the attack zone, defended by Catherine Fernandopol. Swings a pass over to Holmes, rather. Pass along the back, and now an outlet looking for Nuvekis. It skips away from her. She keeps it in bounds and keeps the possession with Rivers. Floats a long pass over to Del Cole, who then sends it over to Cohen. Cohen charges, reaches the defense, a quick pass, shot, saved by Brousseau! That was a gimme shot for Naraki, but a point-blank save by Kaylee Brousseau. She's had a few nice ones this period. Got to give her just as much credit for this comeback as everyone in the offense. That pass skips past a couple people and is picked up by Josephine Vogel. She's running with it. She's charging, still charging, shoots, scores! Josephine Vogel with her second goal of the day. And what a time for it to come as she gives Milton the multi-goal lead. Their first multi-goal lead of the entire game. 14-12, the Mustangs now lead. Five minutes, 21 seconds left here in the fourth period. Vogel, who just scored the goal, will be taking on Naraki, who missed the point-blank shot, was stonewalled by Brousseau to start that possession. Again, you got to give credit to the substitute goalie, Kaylee Brousseau. This draw is collected by Sally once again. She sprints into the attack zone, pursued by Feeney. Has to flip a pass over to, I believe, Naraki. Couple passes now behind the net. That's Hatton sending the outlet over to Nuvekis. Nuvekis now swings it over to Del Cole. Del Cole starts charging in, weaves around one defender, but help arrives and she has to retreat. Del Cole flips it over to Cohen. Cohen now sends it over to Del Cole. Del Cole over to Hatton. Hatton's starting to move to the left, but has to retreat back to the center, and then swings it over to Del Cole. Del Cole now sends it over to Cohen on the right side. They send a pass behind the net. An attempted pass inside looking for Naraki. It's juggled and recollected as Rivers has to reset. Naraki goes around one defender, sends the pass behind the net. Another pass along to Nuvekis. Nuvekis starting to charge in, hitting traffic. The pass attempted for Hatton, missed. Recovered by Del Cole, collides with her teammate, recovers the loose ball again, flips the pass over to Cohen. Cohen aiming for Naraki, it misses, and we got a loose ball again, and we got a whistle. This one's going back to Milton. Great defensive stand by the Mustangs, and they get the ball back. 3:40 left in regulation here as Milton now working in transition. A couple long passes. This one goes to Eliza Dunn. Dunn now running with it into the attack zone. Still going. Weaves around one defender, hits traffic, and has to pull back. Now Milton working on the offense. This is Josephine Vogel, who's had the most recent goal and has 2 so far today. Vogel trying to back down her defender. She sweeps around her, runs into traffic, has to pull back. Retreating pass to Catherine Fernandopol. Fernandopol thought about it but decided to pull back. Sends a pass over to Vogel as Milton resets. Eating up some clock here with the patient offense as they lead by 2 with less than 3 minutes to go. Vogel starts to move. A quick pass. The drive shot turned away, loose ball, scrum in front of the net. And they're going to give that one back to Rivers. I think that shot might have come from Eleanor Murphy. She tried for the low shot, well saved by Carly Peterson. Peterson's had a few nice saves today, as it is now Sally running with it into the attack zone, still running with it, uncovered. Now sends a pass over to an open Fenard. Fenard didn't have enough time, and now passed it over to Naraki. Now Naraki starting to streak towards the net, but again, well defended, and she has to retreat. A pass inside looking for Keebaugh, gets around one defender, shoots off the bar! Rebound by Keebaugh, and she can't get the shot off. Bad pull luck there from Rivers Keebaugh. And now she's going to be operating out of the free position. A chance to make this a one-goal game. Charges, shoots, turned away by Brousseau. Rebound collected by Rivers. They come around and shoot, and this one goes in. Rivers cuts this back down to a one-goal game after the goal on the rebound is scored by Nuvekis. The initial shot out of the free possession by Keebaugh was deflected away nicely by the Milton goalie, Kaylee Brousseau, but it skipped right over to Nuvekis, who came around and put it back in. That was a much harder shot to defend. And now with 1:52 left, it is a one-goal game. This one is coming down to the wire. Vogel versus Naraki on the draw. Loose ball picked up for a second by Del Cole. Juggled it, but got it back. Del Cole floats a pass over to Hatton in the attack zone. And now the ball is lost off the pass. Errant pass, and the whistle's gonna give it over to Milton. No, they're gonna give it back to Rivers. They're gonna say Stoller was too physical. The pass goes over to Hatton, and now back out to Del Cole. Del Cole swings it back over to Hatton. Hatton moves back towards the center. Swings a pass over to Cohen. Sends a pass behind. Another pass over, I think that's Fenard, who passes now to Keebaugh. Keebaugh sends it back up top to Del Cole. Swung over to Hatton. A quick bounce pass over to Cohen. Juggled. They lost it, but again, the whistle blows, and it stays with Rivers. So Cohen will be coming out of the free position. A chance for the equalizer. Cohen charges, shoots, turned away by Brousseau again. Loose ball scooped up by Milton Academy, and they're still running with it. A number of players weren't even sure the play was still going. They assumed it was going to go out of bounds. Passed ahead to Murphy, now over to Vogel, streaking across the field. They get across midfield. Into the attack zone, less than a minute to play. 14-13, Milton Academy leads. Vogel sends a pass out to Eliza Dunn. They're going to try and kill some clock, but the pass to Feeney is errant, but recovered. I believe that is Cressman. Anna Cressman saves the turnover there. And it looks like we got a timeout called. 28.2 ticks left on the clock here in the fourth and final period of regulation. And I got to specify regulation here because if Rivers can somehow get the ball back, run upfield, and put one in the back of the net, then that's going to tie things up, and we might be seeing overtime. What a fourth quarter it has been. 5 unanswered goals from Milton to go from trailing 12-9 to leading 14-12. But Milton not letting up here. The putback score by Nuvekis makes it a one-goal game. The goal scorers thus far for Milton this period, we had the between-the-legs score by Jane Feeney, her third goal of the day as she completes the hat trick. Then Eliza Dunn sprinting in transition, weaving through defenders for the second goal, both of the period and of the game for herself. After that, 2 straight goals from Catherine Fernandopol as she reaches the hat trick as well with both the equalizer and the go-ahead score. And then Josephine Vogel, her second goal of the day, provided a very important insurance goal that has only become more important as the game has gone on. 28.2 seconds left. Milton Academy 14, Rivers School 13. Milton Academy with the ball out of the timeout. Running with it is Cressman, trying to get away from the defense. She loses the ball. Scrum for it, 20 seconds left. Rivers running out of time, but they do have the ball. They're running with it, sprinting with it, 12 seconds left. Cohen's got it in, around midfield, being well defended, throwing a pass. It goes over Hatton's head and out of bounds. 4.5 seconds left, and I think that turnover is going to end things. A quick pass over to Lily Stoller, and she's just going to hold it, and that's going to be it. That's your ball game. Final score, Milton Academy 14, Rivers School 13. An astounding fourth quarter comeback by the Mustangs. That was an awesome game. I mean, I'm trying to be professional, but the sports fanboy in me is coming out. That was an awesome game. Coming back from a 3-goal deficit in the fourth quarter when you've been trailing the entire game. What a final tally that was. Cycling through the goal scorers for the Milton Academy Mustangs, you had Jane Feeney and Catherine Fernandopol, each with a hat trick for the day, 3 goals apiece. You had 2 goals from both Eliza Dunn and Josephine Vogel. And then you had 1 goal, you had 2 goals as well from Eleanor Murphy, so 3 players with 2 goals apiece. And then I believe, unless I missed my count, the last 2 goals came from Emily Coonahan. So 3 apiece from Feeney and Fernandopol, and then 2 apiece from Dunn, Murphy, Coonahan, and Vogel. Over on the side of Rivers School, the goals, 5 goals from Finard, number 9, as she led the way. Unless I missed my count, there were 3 goals from number 5, Hatton, and 2 goals from number 4, Keebaugh, and then they had a goal each from Zuvekis and Naraki and Cohen. That accounts for the 13 goals from Rivers School and the 14 goals from Milton Academy. A stellar comeback, and of course, as much as I mentioned the goal scorers and the offense, plenty of credit has to be given to the Milton Academy defense, and in particular, backup goalie Kaylee Brousseau, the sophomore from Cranston, Rhode Island, who came up with a number of stellar saves in that fourth period as they mounted their comeback. My name is Jesse Mayfield Sheehan. It has been my privilege to bring you this Independent School League girls lacrosse game here at Milton Academy in Milton, Massachusetts. For the last time, your final score, Milton 14, Rivers 13. If you like these broadcasts, make sure to like the video to let us know, and make sure to subscribe to this Milton Academy Live channel as we plan to bring more sports broadcasts in the future. I'm Jesse Mayfield Sheehan, signing off. Milton 14, Rivers 13. Have a good weekend, everybody.